The rich man's empty cup. A certain wealthy man once invited Seneca to his mansion. The marble floors gleamed so brightly you could probably shave by looking at them. The golden cups were heavy enough to qualify as free weights, and the statues all had that peculiar Roman expression of looking faintly superior to anyone who didn't own a statue. The host beamed proudly, waiting for Seneca to gasp with awe. But Seneca, being a Stoic and therefore allergic to excessive enthusiasm, simply nodded politely and thought to himself, "Here stands a man who has everything, and yet drinks nothing but worry." Because that's the Stoic observation. Wealth does not fill the cup. In fact, it often makes people panic about spilling it. The richer a person grows, the more servants they need to guard their treasures, the more locks they put on their doors, the more accountants they hire to explain, creatively, why they owe no taxes. The rich man's life becomes one long game of, what if I lose this? And when you live in fear of loss, you might as well already be poor. Now, this doesn't mean the Stoics despised wealth. They weren't fools. Seneca himself had more money than he could stuff under all the mattresses in Rome, but the Stoics insisted on a crucial distinction. Wealth is a tool, not a treasure. A hammer can build or destroy. Money can do the same. To worship wealth as if it were virtue itself is like worshipping your hammer collection. Impressive, yes, but ultimately missing the point. The poor man who sleeps peacefully, content with a chipped wooden cup, enjoys his drink far more than the rich man sipping anxiety from a chalice of solid gold. The taste of the wine, or water, or goat's milk, depending on your luck, comes not from the cup, but from the mind of the drinker. The Stoics hammered home this idea. Fortune can vanish faster than you can say, economic downturn, fire thieves, bad investments, or simply the whims of fortune herself. None of it is truly in your control, which means tying your happiness to wealth is like mooring your boat to a cloud. It may look impressive, but don't expect it to hold. Of course, people object. They say, but surely wealth brings freedom, to which the Stoics replied, only if you know how to use it properly. A miser chained to his gold is less free than a beggar who knows contentment. Riches without wisdom simply build a more elaborate prison. And here's the kicker. Wealth doesn't change human nature. A greedy poor man becomes a greedy rich man. A kind poor man, if given riches, has more to share. Money reveals character. It doesn't create it. The Stoics advised us to cultivate virtue, because virtue is the only wealth you cannot lose to fire, thieves, or the tax office. So the next time you catch yourself daydreaming of swimming in coins like Scrooge McDuck, remember, the pool is shallow, the coins are hard, and diving head first only ends with a very expensive headache. Because the cup, whether gold or wood, doesn't matter. What matters is whether you can drink without fear. If you enjoyed this video, please like and follow. See you next time.